Oh, welcome back, everyone. We're gonna be burning some evidence to the ground. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. It's time we gotta burn some stuff. Burn a lot of things. Alright, here we go. It's time. It's time. That's moving. Look. Apollo, the inside of the orb, it's melting. There's something in there. It's the Holy Mother. Ah! Dirk, isn't she? Wait, that's the Holy Mother with a face, though. Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the founder herself. Face and all. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Khura'ism is a depiction of the founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within this orb. Founder's orb updating the court record. Heating the founder's orb revealed the statue within. That's weird. How does that work, though? Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Khura'ism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb. Objection! That's clearly not the Founder's Orb. What are you talking about? Be that as it may, Mr. Arbol still may have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the Orb Transfer Agreement null and void. That doesn't matter. It's still not the Crystal of Maya Fey, though, which is this dispute that we're having. That's what this whole friggin' case is about, is whether it's the Crystal of Maya Fey or not. And it's clearly not. So, does it matter? Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Arbol. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And even no proof that Mr. Arbol was still around at that time. Urgh. Their claim that the Defiant Dragons are behind the crime doesn't hold water. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Ugh. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground. Oh no! Oh. No! I lost the case! What? Phoenix, chill. Dude, chill. I won? I actually won? Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Respond? I didn't think so. Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? You're amazing, Apollo! Don't just stand there, Wright. Do something. This is clearly the Crystal of Maya Fey. Can't you see that? Well, I don't think there's any digging out of this hole. Mr. Addison Wimperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie, but you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan? Why, you contemptuous peasant. I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict. No objections here, Your Honor. There, hold it! You can't do this. The crystal is mine. I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal. I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. You haven't forgotten about our little chat, have you? Exclamation mark. What chat? ... What's going on here? Objection! Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim. What? I don't believe they have truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, I don't think even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim that this isn't the Founder's Orb? About that... Oh, of course. Oh? He can't possibly have hit on something. The Fence's assertion is incomplete, and this is why. The Fence is basing their claim that this relic is the Founder's Orb on a legend, and that legend claims the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last. Right, and that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see. But, Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend? Huh? According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle. You're kidding, right? Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins? Of course he does. No. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's all just mystic mumbo-jumbo, right? Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it? No, but... Consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb. This is really stupid. It's the Founder's Orb. Case dismissed. ... What? Well, the gallery hasn't been doing much talking in this case so far. What's gotten to him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this? Must be having something on his head, probably. It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles. That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor. In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. I said all arguments be ready by then. Oh, and Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then, too. Jeez. ... Yeah, good luck with that. May 17th, District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 3. Mr. Wright is sure acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I'm gonna go check up on him. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? Hey, Private Justice. Oh, Sarge. I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh, but why are you telling me about it now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important. There's still more to this case. When I was in my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here. That's right above the coffee bar. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Do you know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. Maybe it was your father. No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him. So then it could have been your father's real killer. My thoughts exactly. We didn't report this to police. It didn't even occur to me. It's okay, you're obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing. Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. Army statement added to the court record. She fled her room when she realized someone had moved her while she was unconscious on the second floor. Uh-huh. Oh, welcome back, Athena. Did you find anything? The music going silent's a little ominous, but okay. The night of the incident, Army fainted in the hallway above the coffee bar after witnessing the doctors burning the treasure. When she came to, someone was pushing her wheelchair. Frightened, she quickly fled to her room. Ooh. She seems sad. What's with the long face? ... We gotta lose his case, Apollo. I'm gonna go with Mr. Wright. What should I... Athena. Oops, sorry. Zoned out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go. What was that all about? That's what I'd like to know too, Apollo. May 17th, District Court. Courtroom number 6. Alright, court is once again back in session. Now I'm gonna give my verdict. Now, Mr. Wright, about that last objection you raised. We, the plaintiffs, still believe that the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. The relevant question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test. I see. You sticking with that ridiculous argument? Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it cannot be awarded to Defiant Dragons. After all, they were the ones who killed Dr. Buff. Objection! What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that will show that Datsar Ball did in fact kill Dr. Buff. What? Very well, you may call your witness. I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game? We shall see. Oh. Hello again, Paul Addison. Fellow citizens... Freaking Kratos, fellow citizens, it is I, Paul Addison, the once and future representative of the people. Geez, not him again. Yeah, I know, right? My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case. How very convenient. What if he's the one he killed him? That's his crime. It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Arball snuck up behind him and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase like someone's head into someone's head. I don't have the suitcase as evidence, though. You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us now because? I saved the best for last. The tactic known to all the political greats. The murder weapon was a complete mystery. My client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. Suppose this could very well be the corner of a suitcase. Objection! The eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What's that supposed to mean? We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed. I was gonna say, did you actually do luminol testing? The doctor's blood in Mr. Arball's suitcase. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Arball used it as a weapon? Objection! The fingerprints on it? You know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. And you know as well as I thought that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints. Ah! Forgot we dusted it right in front of Emma. Whoa. Turnabout terror strikes again. This is quite convincing testimony and evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. Oh boy, I swear. Cross-examination. That's his crime. It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village. Well, if you say that's the case, then that must be the case, I guess. Alright, bring it on. Pressing you. You were on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 at night. That's right, it's the perfect time because everyone is at home. You should have seen how the village's eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say. Tears of frustration, no doubt. You weren't riding around in your palanquin. That's right, some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark. No wonder with all that noise he makes. So, what exactly did you see then? That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking. Indeed, I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Khura'in. There haven't been many murders there, I take it. If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote from me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Khura'in village. Yeah, good luck with that. Mr. Addison Wimperson, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime. Mr. R. Ball snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. He snuck up from behind. So you're saying that doctor never even realized Mr. Arbol was there? That's right, he was utterly absorbed in the book. I see. What do you see Mr. Arbol do next? He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he's trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Well, I mean, like, there is a little bit of bookshelf covering up where he was at. Yeah, I mean, Sure. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how the crime was clearly visible. The doctor was reading a book. That's an idiot. Ah, jeez. So, okay. I feel like it's gotta be how it was clearly visible? Actually, could it be a book too? One of the books is stained with coffee. Never mind. Okay, no, that might be right. Crime was clearly visible. I'll just go with that. The crime was visible through the window. That's earth-shattering testimony. Is it? Because to my ears it sounds like a rather obvious fact. Oh, sorry, I'm good then. Very well then. Will the witness please continue with his testimony? Okay. His weapon of choice is suitcase. Are you sure? Positive, I saw it with my own two eyes. Yet despite your certainty, you kept quiet about it until now. No, I was waiting. I knew there would be a perfect chance to talk about it later. Information must always be disclosed in a strategic manner. This is one of the lessons of kingcraft as taught by the Addishan clan. Is there a lesson by chance in the Addishan Kingcraft guidebook on being honest? Anyway, I saw Mr. Arbol commit that heinous crime.
A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head.
Hold it!
I would have to agree, that suitcase really is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you knew, it could have been empty.
Gnurk!
My client witnessed the crime in progress, so naturally saw Mr. Arbol straining to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. I can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping him up, Mr. Justice. But I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Wright. Talk about new testimony. He's totally changed his story. If he had really seen the murder taking place, you'd think he'd have said so from the start. Maybe he had some reason to hide what he really saw? So that might be our only opening.
Let's see. Where was that statement? That one?
If I'm not mistaken... Well, if I don't get a penalty for this, maybe I'm gonna just say Das is an idiot. The witness said Mr. Arbol is an idiot. That's a key piece of information. Don't you jump on the bandwagon, AJ. I'm no idiot, you hear?
I fail to see how that is a key piece of information.
Yeah, I guess it's not, is it?
And it seems there's no need to add it to the witness's testimony. Let's get on with it, shall we? What if it was important, though? What if it actually was? Ah, it's funny, though. I like how Dad's actually just chimed in right there. It's like, what are you doing, man? Doctor's reading a book?
The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder. It's a vital testimony. How, though?
Very well, the witness will please add that to the statement to his testimony. Okay. The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book.
He watched a murder commit his crime and did nothing to stop it. Doesn't sound like a good way to score points with the voting public.
I'm a politician, not a superhero. I'm under no obligation to risk life and limb.
He sure is quick to deny his obligations when there's nothing in it for him. I'm getting tired of listening to his endless campaigning and flimsy rationalizations. About your testimony, Mr. Addison Wimperson. You said Mr. Arbol struck the doctor from behind while he was absorbed in a book.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
How, though? I mean... From behind, though? But how did he land like that, then? That's what doesn't make any sense. The study photo?
Objection!
No? Are you serious? There's something off about that statement.
It seemed perfectly reasonable to me.
No, something's definitely not right if you listen very carefully. A gambler once sang, you gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em.
Oh, I love this one. Know when to walk away, know when to run.
I don't know which penalty hurts more, the judges or the singing. Wait, we had this one already, but I couldn't skip it for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Above the coffee bar, after witnessing the doctor burning the treasure, came to someone was pushing a wheelchair. Frightened, she quickly fled to her room. Cerebral hemorrhaging after being struck in the back of the head with the corner of an unidentified object. Report filed a year ago by one of Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson. Doctor's poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything without these. They are found on the desk. Oops. I meant to actually present that.
Objection!
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in the book, you say? I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable.
That's quite a bold statement. Well, let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I am anything but 100% reliable.
It would be my pleasure. Lately, it seemed the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves.
Huh!
I'm sorry, Mr. Addison Wimperson, but I'm going to have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what?
I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Arbol...
No, he wasn't.
When Mr. Arbol hit him over the head.
But then the doctor would have been facing him. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run.
Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving.
Sounds more like what you would do. How do you explain the fact he was struck in the back of the head? Is that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk?
Oh, about that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered. So that's what you saw. Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Do you have a problem with that proposal the doctor was struck with while nodding off?
A big problem. There is a problem, a very big problem. When his statement doesn't hold up under with the slightest bit of scrutiny.
Is that so? Then you will please show this court the evidence you have to justify this?
Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally that. At his desk, there's a bookshelf in the way.
Take that!
A diagram of the study.
Mr. Addison Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness's line of sight.
Why, yes, I believe you're right. But... Ah! Oh no, I crushed my thing again.
The fact remains my client knew that the suitcase was a murder weapon. So he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Addison Wimperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. Oh, great. When I saw the murder from right here. Oh no. Help. Up here?
Take that!
You've got to be kidding me.
But that's...
It is indeed, but everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study.
Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime.
I know, Mr. Addison Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room.
Apollo, are you suggesting...
Mr. Addison Wimperson, weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase?
Gah!
What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Arbol was has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. I gave up trying to lift that thing after one go.
That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The rebel Dat Arbol is like a doctor's killer. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dats. You have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo.
Oh, I will. And with his own technique, no less. And Mr. Addison Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around. We'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as a murder weapon. Instead, I'm going to turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes?
Well, this should be interesting.
Mr. Addison Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he said that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims that the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used?
So the important thing here is the position of the victim and the killer relative to each other.
Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use the suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean... I wouldn't ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot and his killer was at a certain other spot, suitcase had become a weapon anyone can use.
I'm confused, honestly. Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime? I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna say right here. There? Oh, that's...
This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I would ask that the court recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then we can clearly see the killer's method at work.
Whoa, 3DS camera, go brr.
Killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right, it was the plaintiff, one Paul Addison Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor. And sent it hurtling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar.
Explains how he got coffee on it, too.
Also, yard! Psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. Doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it or the like. But his blood got on it, which is why the killer thought to hide it in the mountain of books.
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar.
I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. Say the evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar exists. The evidence does exist. And I'm going to show you.
You are?
This right here is proof that murder took place at the coffee bar.
Obviously, that.
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning.
Ah!
Well, look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. Pun intended. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurtling down, striking him on the head.
So I'm guessing he cleaned up the blood, was probably wearing gloves, and somehow managed to move the suitcase into its current spot? But how would he do that, though?
Causing both his blood and his coffee to spatter onto it.
Oh!
Well, Mr. Addison Wimperson?
What? What motive could I have possibly had to kill Dr. Buff?
And there it is, that final excuse cornered killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins.
Ugh.
Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All they did was make him hide the orb. Your lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news report, so he knew the relic was a Founder's Orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you. You killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Addison Wimperson?
Whoa. That is...
What is it now? Apollo! Please, don't accuse my client of murder.
What do you mean?
Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright?
What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's in our nation's best interest to avoid burdening him with the taint of scandal.
Say what?
Oh, geez, I swear. Right, you'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens.
Who's her? Are we talking about Maya? Like, who the flip are we talking about? Because Athena's fine, Trucy's fine. Is Pearl fine? Maybe it's Pearl. I don't know, man.
That's blackmail. He should be under arrest for blackmailing right now, too.
What's he talking about? Well, I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Arbal is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me.
Whoa!
Mr. Wright, are you okay, dude? What in the world's going on here? ... If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Addison Wimperson, the defense hereby accuses you of...
Apollo, wait!
Not you too, Athena.
It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but... During that last recess when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I shouldn't have. Trust Maya is unharmed. Okay, it is Maya. But how, though? Maya's in Khura'in. Okay, he's in that, right. I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind if you catch my drift. Ugh. Relax, all you have to do is ensure I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all cost.
What do they want the relic for anyway?
It's something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great power said to be granted to whoever solves the secret.
Maya? As in Maya Fey?
Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant.
Miss Fey's being held hostage?
So it seems.
Why'd you tell me as soon as you heard this?
Sorry, it's just... Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away. I made me promise not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out.
Those things weren't already hard enough. So that's why Mr. Wright was acting so strange.
I mean, what can you do? Just... do the truth? I mean, I don't know.
I had no idea this must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice. There's gotta be something you can do.
Mr. Justice, about that last statement of yours. I believe you were in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
Ugh, I'm sorry, Apollo. I'm really, really sorry.
What's gotten into you two?
Dot. I accuse that slime bag of putting Miss Fey's life in jeopardy.
It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders.
Ugh. Either I give up, or...
I'm Paul Addison. I am unstoppable. Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president, and then king. How can I become the king of the United States? I have no idea, actually. I'll have every politician in my command. Now retract your accusation.
I can't kowtow to him. But... The fence would... It would like to retract the previous accusations.
Objection! Yeah, you tell him, Dirk. Apollo.
Dirk?
I don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now. With defeat and resignation written all over your face.
Exclamation mark.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth.
Dirk. A dragon never yields. Yeah, Phoenix, you hear about that? He's right, it's all over if I give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call.
Now that's the face of a lawyer you've got there, son.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm going to find that way to save Miss Fey. And see that justice is served.
Oh, here we go.
That scumbag is holding Miss Fey hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. It seems said patron believes in the orb's legend. Then yes, the founder did appear when said orb exposed to fire, just as the legend said. Okay. The legend is true, then we've already solved the riddle, right?
No, not yet.
We have not solved the riddle yet. The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait, maybe. Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living?
Cloning? Time travel? Channeling? Channeling. Whoa. Founder can return through channeling.
Oh, I know. There is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channeling. Of course, you have to know what the founder looks like first.
Yep.
But the orb has revealed her face to us, so what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the facts, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need...
Well, you could practice channeling, I guess, but I mean, a spirit medium seems like a better idea. I mean, they're technically both right?
A medium is needed to obtain the power.
Whoa.
The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. That means Mr. Addison Wimperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Fey.
Oh, snap.
Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Fey's head. Huh? Mr. Addison Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage.
What do you mean?
Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want.
She can? What do you mean, only Maya Fey?
Think about the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in Kingdom of Khura'in, the birthplace of spirit mediums.
Ah, I think I see now. I need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Khura'inism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, a true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder.
Exactly, through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And the legend is true. The founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does.
It's like when Pearl's imbued by Magatama with spiritual power. If a human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner. It is said that the founder possesses immense spiritual power. But a great feat would not be necessarily beyond her. Wait a second, then the legend is true!
You understand now, Mr. Addison Wimperson? You are holding hostage a final key to unlocking the orb's secret. If anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved forever.
Oh! Whoa. Busted! Hold it! There's always Pearl Fey. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer.
She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. She certainly wouldn't help you if anything were to happen to her cousin.
Unk!
Maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Khura'in to channel the founder for you.
You could, but you'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing. Exactly.
It's over, now confess. You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you?
It wasn't supposed to end this way. Mr. Addison Wimperson, are you admitting to committing the crime? You're my lawyer, right? Do something. It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that is finding the truth. What? Mr. Addison Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage taking, but in a way... in a way, I was being held hostage too. Even so, there's still hope for me to make things right. And I owe it all to you, Apollo.
Mr. Wright.
I can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Addison Wimperson, I must resign as your attorney. No! Does this mean I'm under arrest? No! Got him. I'm okay now, see? My sign is better. Well, I've nothing to confess.
What?
I said I've nothing to confess. I don't and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you.
This guy doesn't know when to give up.
Besides, there's no truth to these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it.
All that means you wipe them off, taking...
No. No. I think I know what happened, actually. Oh, boy.
All that means you wipe them off, taking care to only leave Mr. R. balls.
As many a great politician has said before me, no comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. There's really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from above.
Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor. The killer pushed a suitcase from the second floor hallway over to the coffee bar. Literally right above the coffee bar. Yep. That would place him right around here. Ah, maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to dropping of the suitcase. That appears to be a statement, but how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair. The killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down on the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Ah! Someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Addison Wimperson? Ugh! And the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands. We may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. Only being able to hold on just a little tighter. But now he's neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, it looks like sometimes things do get better. But this wasn't supposed to happen. No? Well, too bad, because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the offensive final piece of evidence is on this person. Imagine I just say the wrong person. It's like, well, Mr. Justice, you are guilty of crimes unimaginable. Okay, it's you, obviously, though. That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find out that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out, though. Through that therapy session, that is. Very true, very true. Well, the killer was able to wipe the prints on the suitcase. Same can't be said for the prints that got away. Ah, my fellow Khura'inans. Well, Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium is all yours.
Breakdown time. Paul Addison. Over Khura'in, I am not a crook, My political career, it can't end like this. I am destined for great things. Something's wrong. This isn't real. It's a dream, no, a nightmare. Oh! Huh? What? Wait, really? I won the election! What the heck? Whoa, no way! Banzai! 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 Arrest on murder charge and stripped of his electoral win. Wait, what? No, please. Wait, don't go. No, no, please, whoa! Grandpa! Dot. Oh, my name card, broken. Mr. Addison Wimperson, are you alright? Bailiff, get him out to the first aid station on the double. Whoa. Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. And it seems Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson can be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder. Apollo, I want to thank you for everything.
Exclamation mark.
Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Don't mention it.
You were amazing today, Apollo.
Well, I couldn't have done it without Dirk.
A dragon never yields.
Never forget that, Apollo. Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get to the truth.
Dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart.
As it seems both sides have no further objections, would Dirk Sodmati please take the stand? Dot 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 dot. This court awards the orb to the Flying Dragons for the stated transfer agreement. Oh yeah, no guilty, no not guilty, just award it. Yeah. I wonder why they put so much confetti in this courthouse. It seems kind of random. Does a real courthouse actually have confetti ready if a client is declared, if an accused is declared not guilty? Like, whoa, you're not guilty, confetti time! Like, I doubt that's a real thing. Should the Kingdom of Khura'in claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in the court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say, pray that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Ha 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 ha! Indeed, a trial like that might spark international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things to stir in that air.
The revolution. Dirk's really serious about this.
Yeah, we might have finished this one, but we're not done by a long shot. There's obviously still going to be more to do, because this would be like a really stupid ending to the game, honestly, otherwise. The court is adjourned! So obviously something's going to have to go on back over there, and we're probably going to go into another trial after that, so... Basically, this is kind of like Case 5, and then we're about to start Case 6 really soon. But, I mean... Case 6 is more like... Yeah, we're still Case 5, because why not, man? May 15th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Nice work, son. We've finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution. Excuse me.
Revolution just doesn't seem real.
Yes, well, to think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is, that's my boy! Ha 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 ha!
Well, Mr. Wright did have his hands tied. Who knows if I'd have won if we'd been able to fight me head on.
I see it more like you saved Mr. Wright.
Saved him?
Yeah, remember what he said? You didn't have to bend the truth anymore, and it was all thanks to you.
I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated.
Mr. Dirk? Now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you going to have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder.
Yeah, just think about it. Being able to speak to someone right out of the history books.
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why?
Face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel.
Oh right, Pearl mentioned something like that.
The founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows it is the current queen of Khura'in, Garan.
Oh, so without her help, we'll be seeing the founder anytime soon.
That's no fun!
Founder's orb updated in the court record. The founder's form has appeared from within. It seems only the queen knows the founder's real name.
So, Dirk, what will you do now?
First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands.
So we now know that Paul Addison, that asked the doctor to study it, isn't the one who stole it.
No, political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. He must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family.
Oh right, you said something to that effect back in the cave.
Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day. Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private Justice!
Oh.
That was some fine work you did at the trial today. Did your sergeant proud.
Back at you, Sarge. Took real courage to leave your room like that.
It's all thanks to you and your corpsewoman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth. The battle's only just begun. One for me and me alone to fight. To lose your mother and then your father. What a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah, being wheelchair-bound doesn't help.
Yeah, no kidding. Private Justice, I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I no longer have Papa to coddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow. What, is she not actually handicapped?
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. ... Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir. What is she up to?
What? Whoa.
Whoa, she did it. She's not handicapped after all.
She's standing.
What's this? Sarge, you mean your legs? There.
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but...
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa's watching over me now, and I'd hate to disappoint him. So, from this day forth, I'm going to march forward on my own 2 feet.
What a brave kid trying to move forward like this. Must be so hard this soon after her father's death.
Probably. Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave, because there will be days when you want to stop. I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them.
Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, Daddy's back!
What's with the long face? ...
Mr. Wright, what's that look on his face for?
Oh, Apollo.
Is everything alright with Miss Fey?
She's safe, for now. Well, then we better go save her quick! Where is she, anyway? I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Huh?
Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Khura'in. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing.
The mastermind?
That's right, Paul Addison Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductor is in the Kingdom of Khura'in.
What?
I bet it's I bet it's Inga. It's gotta be him. He seems like such an obvious candidate for this.
I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What in the world's going on over there?
We'll find out very soon, anyway.
But as shocking as that news was, it was only the beginning. The beginning of something big. Big enough to shake Khura'in to its very core. Revolution. I was being swept in a mighty wave that nothing could stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store for us.
Indeed, to be continued.
And I think with that, everyone, I think on the next exciting episode, we'll go ahead and start up the next part of this thing. I mean, I guess it's gonna be more episode 5. We're not gonna have like a case 6 or something like that. Let's see. We want that one. And this is going to be Investigation Day 2. Surprise, surprise. But everyone, on the next exciting episode, we're going to go ahead and get on with Day 2, I guess. What is in store for us in the second day of this? Who knows? But obviously things are definitely getting interesting. Going to go back to Khura'in. Going to see the mastermind, which I am guessing it's going to be Inga probably. But I mean, I could be wrong. Could be the queen.
Maybe it's the queen, you never know. Everyone, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. May we finish this case cleanly. We didn't get a guilty verdict in the first part. Let's freaking go. We got 2 strikes in the first friggin' testimony, and then we scattered 2 more strikes the rest of it and managed to stay alive with 1 strike. Oh boy. Good stuff. Anyway, hopefully we continue that going forward in this case. I'll see y'all later, everyone. Have a good one. See ya tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. You've reached the end of this video, but before we go for the day, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the Tier 4 and 5 channel members, Phoenix Edgeworth, Acheron X2, Menthy, and Meister Papala. Thank you all for being awesome and supporting the channel. If you too would like to also get your name shouted out at the end of each video and live stream, shoutouts are available for all Tier 4 and 5 channel members. I hope you all have an awesome day. I'll see you all later.